Welcome to the video series, an introduction to using Microsoft Teams, brought to you by Progressive Computing Inc. Part 16, Working with Apps. In an earlier video, you may recall how I described Microsoft Teams as a platform. We've seen a lot of features thus far that collaborate together: files, folders, video calls, chat messaging, etc. And now there is one final piece. One more piece to the platform, apps, which is short for applications. Teams is built and designed to work with other software and to allow integration from those companies within Teams. Some of that integration comes through the use of apps. Think of Teams like your smartphone, and apps are like the apps you download from the device store. I'm now going to run through some of the basics of how you can install or add apps to Teams. Here I am in the General channel of the PCI Guests team. Notice that every channel at the top has two default tabs, Posts and Files. We'll now add some more. Click the plus sign to add a new tab, which is where the app will live. Notice the plethora of apps I can add. Let's look at a few. A wiki is like a simple web page any user can create, edit, and manage without any web skills. If you are familiar with Wikipedia, then you already have a good sense of what a wiki is. You can add a website link into a tab, which is a nice way of bookmarking important web pages relevant to a team channel. The same can be done with a commonly accessed Excel file, or a Word file, or a YouTube video, or a Microsoft form, etc. You can scroll through this list to discover many apps, some of which you might already be using. Or use the search function to look for something very specific. Here is the PCI Guests team and the General channel. I've now added the PCI website to the top as a web page for convenient access. In this next example, I have pinned a PDF to the top of the page, a commonly used document that we access quite frequently. And in this last example, I've created a wiki named FAQs, and with a little bit of editing, I've created a simple web page formatted nicely to express some FAQs about this particular channel. Now, I've really only scratched the surface with apps, but I've given you enough to understand some of the basics. This is likely new frontier for you and your organization, so experiment a little and with some of the simpler stuff at first. And remember, the Progressive Computing team is always here to help you get on the right path.